Is your food truck an owner dependency? That's what we're going to find out today by asking 10 magnificent questions that are going to help us answer that. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm glad y'all are here. Today we finding out, is your food truck does it operate under owner dependency? Now, what is owner dependency? Well, it is just what it says. Your food truck depends on the owner, or any business depends on the owner for it to run. So the business can't run without you being there. The business is stuck. You're stuck inside of the business because you have to be there all the time because other employees can't do what you do, or you don't have the right system set up. So we're going to get right into it. Like I said, these are going to be 10 wonderful questions, very important questions that we need to ask, and we need to find out if your business is under owner dependency. And one thing before we start, a lot of people, you ask them, is your business under owner dependency? And they say no. Even though they're working in their business every single day, they still say no. And it's not really until you either start asking them questions about how the business runs when they're not there, or you start asking them what type of systems do they have in place for their business, to where they start realizing, oh wow, I'm always here. Or I had a food truck owner who told me, Andrea, I've been hearing you talk about owner dependency so much, I hear it in the back of my mind. So now when I go work on my food truck, I'm realizing all the things that I'm responsible for on the food truck. And he's like, wow, this is my business is really under owner dependency. So we're going to find out the 10 questions that we're actually going to answer the 10 questions to find out if your business is under owner dependency. And then we're going to go briefly into if you are, what we need to do to get you off of that. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to get started with the owner dependency test. Let me see if I can move this out of the way. I don't know if y'all see that bar there, but if you do, don't worry about it. I don't think you do though. So the owner dependency test, 10 questions every food truck owner needs to ask themselves honestly. Oh, and by the way, if this is your first time here on this video, I am Chef Andrea Armstrong. I took my food truck business from 19K in revenue in the first year to 500K in revenue in the second year. That first year was really only a few months. I opened up kind of in the fall, but the following year from January to December, we were able to bring in 500K in revenue, and we did that by having systems and not being owner dependent. So I am here to teach you guys how to do the same exact things. Let's go ahead and get started. So question number 1, let me move my face up here. I might do that a couple times so you guys can see. Can your food truck operate without you? This is probably the biggest question right here. Because if your food truck can't operate without you, that means a couple things. You can't take a day off. You can't go do anything outside of being in the business, really, or you're not. And if you do, you're obviously not making money. So these are a few questions that you also have to ask underneath. What would today's shift look like what would today's shift, blah, blah. Would today's shift happen if you stay home? If you decided, hey, I deserve a day off, I want to, relax at home, are people going to be calling your phone? Are they going to be asking you every single question? Because if you're at home and you have people running a business, but they're calling your phone every 5 minutes, that is still owner dependent. They are still dependent on the business owner to give them some type of direction, some type of guidance, answer these type of questions in order for them to continue doing the job. And 9 times out of 10, those questions are so frustrating because the questions that they ask are frustrating because they're questions that you feel like they should already know the answer to. Who unlocks the truck? If you have to go unlock the truck because you don't have a lead person appointed to take care of that responsibility, the truck is still owner dependent. Who runs operations without you? If everything stops, you're the system. That's just point blank period. If everything stops because you're not there, you're the system. I have people that said, yeah, no, my business isn't owner dependent. I just have to go, get it set up and then I have to close. That's owner dependency. If you cannot fully stay home and your phone does not ring and and you're not making money, nobody's working the truck, if Let me say that again, because that probably sounded kind of crazy. If you cannot stay home without your phone ringing, then you're owner dependent. If you cannot stay home and the truck still operate without you, you're owner dependent. Let's get on to the second question. Do employees come to you for every decision? I mentioned this in the first slide. Refunds, customer complaints, inventory questions, schedule changes. If you don't have at least 1 to 2 people who are kind of like your managers, your shift leads, your team leads, who are able to handle these things, you are owner dependent. And this is very important because let's say, I mean, this could even be down to the smallest thing. Let's say you're working on a grill, which is still owner dependent, but unless you're just, hey, this is your day to work on the grill or whatever, but it's still owner dependent. Let's say you're working on the grill and the person at your register can't even take care of refunds or customer complaints. You can't even focus on the one task that you scheduled yourself for without having to jump in and handle something else. And I know people will say, oh, well, I'm the owner. That's my job. Your job is to create a business that is able to scale and not be bound to you coming in every single day. That's what your business is supposed to do. Have you ever canceled because someone called out? I know this has happened many times. I spoke with a food truck owner who says, hey, we were supposed to open today, but nobody showed up. That's a huge problem. That's a huge problem. One employee missing shuts everything down. You have no backup. Your systems aren't protecting you. We all know that we have a call out policy in place. But if your business is reliant upon, every single person being on the shift, then not only do you need to review your team, but you need to review how many people you have on your team. You may be understaffed because your job is to work in the business, not on the business. So if somebody calls out and you have to go in, that's owner dependent. You can't even take a break. Of course, we don't want call outs. And of course, call outs do happen. Things happen, but we should have the proper systems and the proper staffing in place to be able to take care of these things when they arise. You never want to try to figure out an issue when the issue is presented to you. You always want to try to figure out as many issues as you can during times of peace, during times of calm, when there's no problems going on, because that's how we become prepared. Could you leave for 7 days without any calls, any texts, or checking cameras? Would the revenue stay the same? Would you still get the money that you're receiving on average if you left for 7 days? If you cannot say yes to that, my friends, you are owner dependent. Are you still training every employee yourself? Now, this is a big one right here. This is a big one because as a business owner, there's a lot of things we could be doing than training employees. And I know somebody who doesn't know, they say, well, you're the owner, you're supposed to train. No, you're supposed to set people and systems in place to where there's a training process that you don't have to be glued to the hip to. If you don't have a training system, if you don't have SOPs, and every new hire depends on you, it's not going. You're owner dependent. The training should be repeatable. Once you train one person, because of your system, that one person should be able to replicate and train anybody else. Because it's not necessarily about the person that's doing the training. It's about the system in place. That system, those SOPs, they set the standard. They guide you. They let everyone know, hey, this is how we operate. This is what needs to be done. It should be a repeatable system that anybody can follow. And again, you have a lot of things to be doing instead of doing the same thing over and over again. So before I go to slide number 6, I want to touch on what I said just now. Well, no, we'll save that for the end because I'm going to tell you exactly how you can fix these things. With Would every employee describe their job the same way? Clear expectations, defined standards, consistent training. Now, this falls this falls under the category of everybody kind of does their own thing, or they learn from seeing how other people do things. You should be able to ask every individual how to do something and they say it the same way. But what's happening is when you bring someone in, there's no system. So everybody is busy. So instead of having a real training system, the new hire is really just watching, seeing how everybody does it. And then when you get someone like me to come in and ask you, well, how is your training system? Well, what do you do in this situation? And then I hit you with the question, why? You should always know why. But a lot of times when I ask why, the number one answer I get is, well, that's just how we always done it. That's not a system. When you say that's how we always done it, that means you've normalized chaos within your business. That means that we've been doing chaos for so long, working in chaos for so long, and chaos dependent for so long that it's a normal to us. That's just how we do it. But we get through it, so it's a great system. No, not at all. Because your new hire is going to come in. And then now you're training them and getting them used to that normalizing chaos. And when you get good employees that are going to come in and this is what they're seeing and this is what they're having to adapt to, guess what they do? They leave. That's going to be a separate video on how to get quality team members and retain them. Because one of the biggest things is that people not only want to grow into a place that has great opportunity, the environment is great, they're going to be successful, but people want to work at a place where it is organized. And that is your biggest thing. So if everybody can't describe their job the same way, there's not a lot of organization going on. Are you still doing jobs someone else could do? Now, this goes hand in hand with what I kind of said we was going to leave earlier, but since we're stumbling upon it now, let's talk about it. Cooking, ordering, scheduling, hiring, bookkeeping. As an owner, every repeatable action that you do needs to be documented. Why? Because this is something that the business does every single day. And if you're doing it every single day, you need to document it, because when you hire someone to come in and replace you so you can kind of step back from the business a little bit, they need to know what to do. If they don't, they're going to be calling you because you're the only one that knows how to do it. And the other thing is, a lot of business owners complain about this. They say, well, I need to be there because I'm the only one that knows how to do it. You're the only one that knows how to do it because you haven't taken the proper measure to make sure that somebody else could do it, which is by documenting every repeatable action, writing it down. And this goes all the way from the top to the bottom. This goes to bookkeeping, hiring, scheduling, ordering, and cooking. The same way a cook is going to learn how to do something at their station is the same way your bookkeeper is going to learn how you want something done for your business. This is what we need to do. This is how I do it. This is how I want it done. Because the purpose is, when you step away from your business, you want that bad boy to run just like you were still doing it. You don't want to hire Marcus or Chad, and now Marcus is doing it Marcus's way and Chad is doing it Chad's way. No, we want it all to be done the owner's way. And that's only going to be if you document everything that you do and then make it clear and train your employees on how you want it done. When problems happen, who solves them? Employees solve first. Leaders make decisions. Owners guide. Owners shouldn't rescue anything. I'm going to tell you a story. Quick story. Me and my team was doing at an event. Me and my team was doing an event. And we had the food truck. But for these type of events, we like to use the tent because we're able to interact. You know, we had got real prominent in the community. So I started off in the tent. Then I moved to a food truck. And for some events, we would bring the tent back out because people just love to interact with us and see what we're doing. So this one particular event, we're all working, and we hear this lady said, I didn't get my hot dog. We were doing like wings, all kind of stuff, and then we threw hot dogs on there real quick for like a little kid item. She's like, I didn't get my hot dog. And all of us turned around, me and like four other employees. And we're kind of like standing there while she's talking, because one of my cashiers was like, "Oh, I didn't ring you up for a hot dog. I apologize." And before that person could even finish, the lady said, "Well, I ordered a hot dog and I didn't get it." And before I'm in all of my employees are in front of me. I'm standing behind them. My employee, who is the youngest, I'm not going to tell you his age, but he was the youngest out of all the team members. He said, I'll get you a hot dog. And he got the lady a hot dog and he gave it to her for free. And I was blown away. I was blown away because he was able to solve an issue like that. And I was standing right there. And my employees know how I rock. We ain't giving out no free food. We ain't doing none of that. But the fact that in his mind, he's already like, we're super busy. We're kitchen terms, balls to the wall. And there's an issue. This lady is saying she didn't receive anything. My coworker is saying, I apologize. I didn't charge you for one. But because of what's going on around us, instantly he's like, let's solve this issue and keep pushing. He didn't look at me. He never even looked at me. He didn't look up like, is it cool if I do that? He didn't do none of that. He said, I'll get you the hot dog. Turned around and and he got the hot dog. I don't even think they knew I was standing right there, but they knew I was there, but got the hot dog, gave it to her, and we knocking out orders. This was a festival. And I was so impressed. You know what I mean? That is what you want your employees to do. You want them to be able to make decisions when it matters the most, because they understand what's at stake. We're not going to argue back and forth with you. We're not even, you know what, ma'am? We're not even going to charge you. Here you go. Enjoy your hot dog. You know what I'm saying? So you want to get team members who are able to make decisions, important decisions. Like I said, he ain't finna be giving out no free food. I know them. They know me. But in his mind, he automatically knew, hey, this is a situation we need to debt this so we can keep going as a team. Leaders make decisions, owners guide. Owners shouldn't rescue everything. In that situation, I didn't have to rescue anything. But if I need to do something, I will guide them on what to do. I trained them. Hey, now don't get me wrong. In the beginning, they used to come to me for a lot of stuff. There was a time when they would, I would kind of have them come in at separate times. You kind of staggering, you don't need people. You got your people that help you set up. You got people that come in when the event happened. You got people that come in around the event's supposed to be really busy. So I would stagger the schedule. And my two leads would come in. I would tell them how everything's going to go. Then I'd have another person come in and come straight to me and ask me questions. Then the next person right after that would come to me and ask me the same question. And I told them, I said, hey, there's 4 other people that work here who are your team members. Before you ask any questions to me, you need to go to them, because I guarantee you they're going to know the answer. This taught them not to be so reliant upon me. And it also served the purpose of strengthening the communication within the team. They can communicate together. It got to the point, I don't even know, I can't name nothing specific, but it got to the point where they'd be like, nah, chef, we good. We good. I'd be like, we good. Don't even worry about it. We can take care of it. I got that. That's where I got them to. And this is where I want you to get your employees to. You want your employees to say, chef, we good. Don't worry about it. I can handle it. Keep eating over there. Take your break. You know what I'm saying? Rest. Do whatever you do. Talk to the customers. We good. So that's where you want your employees to be. You want them to be able to solve problems that they know you would approve of them solving, and the way that they solve them, you would approve of that as well. How would you train 3 new employees tomorrow? If you can't answer that, we got a problem. SOPs, training system, checklist, or is it a watch what we do? I just spoke about this. So a lot of people are bringing team members on and saying, "Hey, just kind of pick up. I'm start cleaning up behind me. I'm gonna start making stuff and just watch what I do." That's not training. That's throwing somebody in a pit of fire and hoping that they're able to make it out without any burns, or maybe the fewest burns as possible. You want to have SOPs. You want to have a training system. You want to have a checklist, and also you want to have a proper onboarding system that prepares them for all 3 of these. That is extremely important. The last question right here. The last of the 10. I believe this is, last of the 10. Do your employees know where the business is going? Do they know the vision? Are they building something? Or are they just collecting a paycheck? Because this question right here, the way that you answer it, this determines their level of care and how much effort they're really willing to put towards your business, which in return potentially frees or shackles you to the burden of owner dependency. When you have a business, people think that, hey, this is a job, this is how much it pay. Let me know your availability and if you can start ASAP. But start sharing your vision with the team. Build culture. I told you, people want to be a part of something with great opportunity. They want to be a part of something that they can grow with. They want to be part of a culture. They want to be part of something that's organized. When you set these standards and you let the team know exactly what you're building towards, the team members don't feel like they're just showing up collecting a paycheck. And you're going to see their effort go up tremendously. And also, when you're able to explain the vision to your team, believe it or not, you're going to find out who's really riding for you. You're going to be able to separate the A players from the B players from the C players. And hopefully you ain't got no D players, because everybody plays a role. But start letting them know the vision. Because when you let them know the vision, they like, I know what Chef is working towards. My team, they knew the vision. They knew, hey, this is a food truck. We want it to be the best food truck in the city. They are proud to work for me. They're saying, Chef want to be the best food truck in the city. We're going to make sure this is the best food truck in the city. And that in return increased the effort that they were able to give me, which had me be able to be comfortable with stepping away from the business and knowing that it's still being ran with my standard implemented. So now it's time to find out, how many did you answer yes to? If you answered yes to 0 to 2, congratulations. You're building a business. You're definitely building a business. If you answered yes to 3 to 5 of these questions, owner dependency is slowing your growth, and now is the best time to check it before it gets any worse. If you answered yes to 6 to 8 of these questions, your business depends on you heavily, and that's something we got to fix ASAP. We got to go in there and we got to fix it. And if you answered 9 to 10 of these with yes, unfortunately, your business owns you. Owner dependency isn't permanent though. Systems can fix it. So if your business owns you, that's okay. It's not okay, but it's okay because we can fix it. So, and the way we fix that is by implementing systems and making sure we have not only the systems in place, but then we have the proper employees in place to be able to replicate those systems time in and time out. So if your business is facing owner dependency, I definitely need you to hit the link that I'm going to leave in the description, and let's hop on a call and let's just talk. Let's just talk about where you are in your business right now. Let's talk about what's slowing you down, what's slowing down your growth. And then let's talk about where you want to be. And let's see if this is possibly a great fit for you, okay? But the main thing we want to do is get up out of owner dependency. The next video I'm going to drop is what to do when you find out your business is in owner dependency. What do we need to do? So be on the lookout for that. And then also, let's say you're not in owner, let's say you are in owner dependency, but your staff isn't making it any better. We're going to talk about that as well. All right. So let me know in the comments, is your business under owner dependency? If it is, let me know. If it's not, let me know. And I look forward to seeing y'all comments and seeing exactly what's going on with y'all. But yo, thank you so much for tuning into this video. And there's many more on the way. All right.